Today, we will be talking about evolution, and specifically natural selection. Evolution is the method by which organisms change over time, and natural selection is one of these mechanisms. Organisms that are better adapted to their environment survive and are more successful in passing on their genes.
There are other ways that organisms evolve, but those will be covered in future videos.
I'm sure you've heard of survival of the fittest. We all may think that fittest refers to how perfect or strong an organism is.
However, natural selection doesn't create a perfect organism.
It creates organisms that are best adapted to their environment and that can have the most offspring. So, how does it work? Natural selection is based on random mutation.
This means that every new trait that comes from a mutation is by chance.
Actually, most of these mutations are pretty bad and will get selected against. If the mutation is detrimental or does not directly help the organism to have more offspring, chances are it won't be as likely to be passed down. The beneficial mutations, on the other hand, are selected for and will be passed down to their offspring. If an organism can have more offspring or is able to better help their offspring survive, its genes will be passed down to its offspring, who will have more offspring, who will have even more offspring, and now, oh my god, all of the bugs are orange and there's so many of them. These organisms will carry the beneficial traits, which will get passed down over generations. Over time, these beneficial traits will accumulate in a population, as these higher fitness organisms are able to reproduce more and more and pass down their genes. Basically, these traits become more common in a population if they are successful in helping an organism reproduce. Here's an example. During the Industrial Revolution, peppered moths were selected to be darker due to the smoke covering the trees, allowing them to blend in. Dark-colored moths became the most common trait in the population, when lighter moths used to be far more common. So here's the take-home point. Through natural selection of beneficial traits, species evolve over time to help them reproduce more and be more evolutionarily fit. So, natural selection is a result of several factors. One good way to remember all these factors is with the acronym VISTA, V-I-S-T-A. It stands for variation, inheritance, selection, time, and adaptation. First, there needs to be genetic variation within the population, where different traits, some being favorable and some not, exist. Secondly, these traits have to be heritable, being determined by the organism's genes, meaning that they can be passed down to offspring. Third, these traits need to be selected for. Either individuals with favorable traits will outcompete those without those traits for resources, passing on their genes, or they will need to survive better than those without these traits, passing on their genes. Fourth, this process can take a lot of time, as evolution occurs over several generations.
Fifth and finally, the organisms are now better adapted to the environment, allowing them to reproduce more efficiently and pass their genes on to the next generation. Hey, that's it for natural selection today. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you were able to review or learn something new, and of course, please subscribe, it helps me a lot and it lets you know when I upload another video.